folks, Ariel over here at Nyth. Today I want to get to the first big project that we did on the new property. Now in general I do think it's very good advice when people say when you have a new place, especially if you've got like a bare land kind of place where you're doing things, not just moving into an existing house, it is often wise to observe the property for a little while before you make any big and permanent decisions, because you might change your mind. But there are a few things that are sometimes really obvious. And for us, in this particular situation, a bridge was one of them. Because that little creek I mentioned flows kind of right along the, not right on the road edge, but very close to the road edge. So to get to the majority of the property, you do have to cross it. And here is what it looked like when we bought the place. There was this lovely, sturdy looking, solid, flat and level little bridge made out of some old railroad ties tied together with eye bolts. And if your car was just the right size and you spaced your tires out just correctly and were careful, you could get across the property, onto the rest of the property. But obviously that was going to need some work to make it something that was more drivable, more consistently and more safely. And when we pulled it apart, we did realize some of those railroad ties were getting fairly rotten. A few were solid, a few were not. So this was the very first big project after we closed on the property that Clay and I did together. And by Clay and I did together, I mean Clay built a bridge and I did as I was told and helped hand things and pass things and hold things and whatever, because building a solid bridge that works for driving heavy things across, including a tiny house, is not my area of expertise. It is very much, however, his. He's been doing building of various kinds his entire life, commercial, residential, private and custom, all kinds of things. So he has all of these skills. So the other little thing to note is I had some more video clips of us actually doing work when we did this, toward the end of last summer when when this actually happened, but I don't know what I did with them. I have triple backups of all my photos and videos, and that is the 1 day worth of video clips I can't find anywhere. So you're gonna get me narrating and all the photos from that day, because I have those. I don't know what happened to those video clips. I spent a couple hours the other night trying to find them, and I guess they're gone. Maybe I never got them off the camera. I don't know. That was really frustrating. But, so this is basically how that went. This kind of had to be a single day project because once Clay got his tools there and started working on it, he wanted to be able to get them all across the water and onto the other side so things weren't left sitting right on the road shoulder. And once we started on it, the old bridge was going to be, those old ties were going to be out of the way, and the replacement needed to be finished then before we could get anything across. So this ended up being a very long day. He took one of his weekend days. He can get so much done in a single day when he has some time. We started very early. It was very, very miserably hot, and for here, that means it was like 80 something, and neither of us like heat terribly well, and he started putting a bridge together. So the first thing he did was kind of dig back the rocks and such on the edge of the creek where it was holding the current bridge, so we could get that out and then use the backhoe to lift those chunks out, because even old rotting railroad ties are quite heavy, especially when there's 3 or more of them, tied together. So get those out of the way, then start setting the new timbers in. So you can kind of see that whole process of how everything went together here, and he could probably explain better than I exactly why you have all the different layers, where this ties into that and overlaps that and so on. But that was a day's worth of projects, and like I said, the things I was useful for was handing this next and helping carry that, and holding this here and passing a screw gun here or a drill there, and then repacking once he got the kind of abutments replaced on the two ends, repacking all those round river rocks and such back around them so it would be very sturdy as you drive across it. That was something that was in my realm of ability, so that's what I did. And that was actually the first time we dug into any of the soil on this, property. And so when we dug in and found all of these, various sizes of round rocks with some dirt in between, I thought there's a chance that that's what all the soil in the whole place looks like. That would be pretty similar to the place I've been living so far for 7.5 years. And I thought, that's fine, I can deal with that. Later, when we dug another hole further away, everything that's not right on that creek edge does not have hardly any rocks at all. I mean, there's some little pebbles, but there's none of this stuff, and it's beautiful topsoil. But, so this is what it looked like. We got that bridge all together. It was a super long day. We were very exhausted at the end of that, and then had a beautiful product that you can just drive across without any worry about falling in. And somebody already asked, is Nyth, the tiny house, going to go across that to get onto the property? Yes, she absolutely is. There's already been heavier things than her. She weighs about, she was a little over 10,000 pounds empty when she showed up here without my, books and dishes and clothing and stuff in here. So I don't know exactly what she weighs right at this moment, but not a whole lot over there. But there's already been gravel trucks that weighed 4 times that go across the bridge. So it is very solid, and clay builds everything super extra solid. You could probably have a flood come through there and wipe out the entire 3+ acres, and they could all be gone and the bridge would still be left standing there. So that is not a concern. So that was our first exciting project that we got done, and then we could kind of go from there to working on other things. Oh, and one other project I'll throw in here real quick is we cleaned up all the stream banks. Nobody done anything around here in a while, and they were so overgrown. So that was a fun project on another weekend day when it was also super hot, but a lot cooler to be wading around in the creek.
It's really hot out here, but working in the creek is very nice, and I'm very excited to be working on this and have beautiful flowing water to go wading around in and get completely wet while working. So, I'm clearing along the creek, because as you can see, and there are some neighbor kids having fun. As you can see, before clearing along it, you almost couldn't see it. It looked like about a 6-inch wide ditch, but it is not. It's about up to my knees as I wade here. In places it's shallower. There's a beautiful currant bush. This actually has some currants still on it. They're about over for the season, but there's some pretty orange currants. I also discovered today that we've got nettle, stinging nettle, which is edible and wonderful, as well as wild mint growing along here, and there's a couple other currant bushes. Anyway, you get the idea. The creek keeps going. We've cleared most of it, and I forgot to grab my camera earlier until we had got a bunch of it done. But I'm super excited about the edible things and being able to actually see the creek.
So I'm excited to share that with you all, and it's great to have somebody who has all the skills I don't have, or we tend to complement each other pretty well, because I have some he doesn't, and he has all the ones I don't. And so we got a bridge put together, and now you can get on the property, and the next project will be coming in the next video. See you guys then. Hi folks, Ariel over here. Thanks for spending some of your valuable time watching these videos. Hopefully you found something beautiful, educational, interesting, peaceful, relaxing, or useful while you were here. If so, find more videos here, subscribe so you don't miss any updates, and if you like what you found here, feel free to like and share away so that others can benefit as well. You all have a wonderful day.